feature I didn't realize I was gonna love so much. Hey guys, it's Sarah. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. In case you missed the title for any reason, for today's video, I am going to be sharing my review of my fitness ring tracker. I recently got an Oura Ring dupe and I've been wearing it for about 2 weeks now, and I have a pretty good handle on how I feel about it. I've actually always been super interested in tracking my steps, but I never was into wearing a pedometer. I just knew like if I tried one of those old school clip-in ones, I'd probably lose it, like it would fall off of me, I would drop it or something, and I'd also probably forget to put it on and things like that. And then the Fitbit came out and I tried that for a little bit, but I just could not stand the aesthetic of it. That, and I also did try wearing a smartwatch for a while. I think I actually have tried like a couple of smartwatches, and I just personally don't like the aesthetic of smartwatches and Fitbits, especially as someone who creates content a lot. It just like would drive me crazy if I would forget to take it off for photos, or not even just for photos. Like if I was going out and I put together a cute outfit, it would always annoy me to like see my outfit and then I have on a Fitbit or a smartwatch, which I know like the smartwatches, you can change out the bands so that it looks prettier, but the face always still like threw me off. You either would like leave it black or you put one of like the screensaver things on it, but they still like didn't look convincingly enough like an actual watch. So I just felt like it always detracted from my outfits, which I know for some people is like not a big deal, and power to you if that's you, but for me personally, it really was a distracting thing. So I kind of gave up on the idea of being able to track my steps until the Oura Ring came out, and I remembered I wanted the Oura Ring so bad. I put it on my Christmas list 2 years in a row. Unfortunately, I didn't get it, but it was like one of those things that I was never gonna buy for myself, because even though it did what I wanted, the Oura Ring did so much more than just what I needed. It just felt like a lot of money to spend when I only wanted a small piece of the data that it offered. I think at the time, like when they first came out, Oura Rings were like $500. I know now you can get them as cheap as like $200 to $300, but you still have to do like the monthly subscription and stuff. So like I had said, as much as I loved the concept of the Oura Ring, the fact that it was so much more discreet than a smartwatch or a Fitbit, I just couldn't justify the price tag for what I wanted it for. But I knew if I was patient and I waited, that eventually the patents would expire and other companies could start making their own versions of Oura Rings, and that the price on some of those would drop to like very, very reasonable levels. So that's what I did. I waited around until dupes started coming out left and right, and I finally pulled the trigger on getting this one. I got mine from the TikTok shop. It is also available on Amazon. It's under like a different name, but it's still the same ring and still goes to the same app, so I'll link both of those for you guys below. And I was a little bit nervous getting just like a cheapy ring, but at the same time, because I just wanted it for tracking my steps, I figured it wasn't that big a deal and it would be worth the money to at least try it out. So like I said, I had gotten mine through TikTok shop, and I believe I paid around like $40 for mine. It was definitely under 50. If you get yours from Amazon, I think the one on Amazon is just a little bit over 50, but it's not by much. Either way, still very, very inexpensive compared to an actual Oura Ring. I did record the setup and my first impression of the first day of me wearing it for you guys, but before we jump into that, I just want to welcome anyone who's new to my channel. I create content on fashion, beauty, and lifestyle, and if you've made it this far and you're enjoying this video, I would love it if you would hit that subscribe button. And for everyone watching, hit that like button and also leave me a comment down below. Let me know if you've tried the Oura Ring before or another dupe and your thoughts on them, or if you have any questions about my ring that I don't answer in this video, you can pop your question down there as well and I'll do my best to answer it. All right, y'all, the ring just arrived. We're gonna do a little unboxing and setup, and then I think tomorrow will be like the first day that I officially start wearing this and check out like at least 1 day worth of stats. But here is the smart ring. This one, I can't remember the name, but I got it in a size 7. I got the rose gold because I wear gold jewelry, so hopefully it won't look too far off from the rest of my gold jewelry. I did look at photos in the reviews and the rose gold looked to be more on the gold side than like rosy, so I think it should work. But comes in a nice little box, and then, whoops, there's the ring inside, and I'm assuming this is the charger. Then it comes with a lanyard, I guess, for the charger. That makes sense. I was like, that can't be for the ring. Little charging cord. So first thing I want to do is try this on. Oh, it looks like it's already charged up, so that's kind of cool. But here is what the ring looks like. It's definitely rose gold, but it's, like I said, not too rosy of a gold. Then my hope was to wear, oh, it runs small. Okay, be warned. It runs small. Oh, does it have to go on this hand? I really didn't want it on this hand. Although it might work better on this hand, and in particular on the middle finger on this hand, because I wear my hand chain right here, so I feel like that would be fine layered on top of the hand chain. But this also is where like my other chunky ring, so I'm like, do I want 2 chunky rings next to each other? That's my main concern. Actually, the thumb would be best, but I'm guessing not. I think it has to be on like one of these fingers. But anyways, I mainly want this for step tracking. All the other things that it does are just bonus for me. Okay, let's go ahead and do a little setup. Scan the QR code and it'll take me right to the app page. I'm gonna do Google Play because I do have a Pixel and I don't want to hear anything about it. I love my Pixel. I have had an iPhone, Android all day. Just setting up a new account really quick. Now I'm just entering in my stats, like my date of birth. Oh shoot, what's 4'11" in inches? I feel like I should have that memorized. So it has a little dashboard. Okay, I'm just gonna take a screenshot of the blank one and I'll put a picture of it on the screen. It has your steps and then a goal of 10K steps. And then you can monitor your heart rate, you can monitor your sleep if you're gonna wear it while you sleep. I don't think I'm going to. I might actually do it for the first night just to see it. Oh, and then you can input if you're doing a sport. That was a really easy setup. And then when you hit steps, it has like a little graph where you can do comparisons. It has a little step analysis. So I'll explore this more and talk more about it after I've used this ring for a little while. But for right now, we got the setup, tried on the ring. And according to this, you can wear it on your index, middle, or ring finger. So middle finger it is. Hi, so I was trying to figure out why it wasn't recording any of my steps. You need to pair the ring. There's a little ring symbol at the top. You're supposed to search for your device, but I'm trying to figure out how to get it to connect. On this to connect. Oops, there we go. Oh, yeah. So your ring has to be in this in order to connect, but it looks like it picked mine up. Now it's pairing and it's syncing. And then now I think we're good to go. Now my ring is connected. I was like walking around and I came back to my phone and I was like, why does it say I took like no steps? Now let's test it. It's still not recording my steps. I'm gonna troubleshoot and see, maybe there's a little bit of a lag. I have it on the correct way. So according to the instructions, you wanna wear it with this on the inside of your finger. So that's what I did. I don't know, maybe I'll give it a little bit of time. I've got like some laundry and stuff to put away. So maybe there's a little bit of a lag. It is under $30. I'm not expecting anything crazy amazing, but it should at least log my steps. Update, I was able to fix it. I just needed to restart my phone. And then also mine has it on a setting where I guess it updates like every half hour, or I can do a manual refresh, but on its own, it'll update every half hour. But yeah, apparently turning my phone on and off fixed the problem, and now we are on track for step tracking. It's the next day, it's about 6 o'clock. So I just wanted to do a little bit of a one-day check-in with this ring. I actually got a lot done today. So far I've tested out this, So far I've tested out the sleep tracking, and then it's been tracking my heart rate, my O2, my steps, all of that stuff all day. So far for one day, I do really like it. I don't know exactly like how accurate the steps is. I did see that people said they think it overestimates a little bit. So I'm basically doing it like if my goal is 10,000 steps, I'm gonna try to hit like 11,000 or 10,500, something like that. Just a little bit over whatever the goal is to account for that. But yeah, so far it's been very comfortable. I've been wearing it when I'm washing my hands, when I'm cooking, all of that stuff. I'm not having any reactions to the metals or any of the materials in it. And it's been very comfortable. I will say it is a little bit bulky, but I don't feel like it's uncomfortably bulky. And then as far as my stats go, this was also really nice because I just took a contemporary dance class, so I had it on during that, and it was tracking like my heart rate and stuff. That class moved a little bit slower, but still I got like tons of steps in and stuff. So as of right now, like I said, at 6 o'clock, I'm at 7,600 steps. I did go into the office today, so I was sitting for most of the day, so I think that that's not bad for sitting in the office. And I still have to do Leo's night walk, which is the longest one. It's at least half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes. So I have every confidence I'm gonna hit like 10 to 11,000 steps. Right now, my heart rate, you guys can see, is very high. It's 138 beats per minute because I just got out of class and I walked home from class. So this is me by the end of class. You can see that spike here, which is kind of cool to see. So this is me sleeping. This is when my alarm went off. Huge spike there. And then that's just me throughout the day. I went on a little walk at noon, so you can see it right here. And then I went home, walked Leo, and then walked to class, and then class. And then I'm coming back down right now. Kind of cool to see that. And then also here's my sleep report. You guys can tell I'm a very good sleeper. I never wake up, and I go through more than like 6 REM cycles. I am a deep sleeper. I know that I'm a good sleeper. I don't always fall asleep easily, but I stay asleep and I sleep like the dead. Like I don't move. I'm a very deep sleeper. So it's like even when I don't get a full 8 hours in, the quality of sleep that I do get is usually really good, so I feel fairly rested. So I'm lucky in that way, but especially if you're someone who's not typically a good sleeper, temperature. This would be great for tracking that, to see how many times you're waking up and stuff, and see like if you need to like make adjustments to try to get yourself into like a deeper, better sleep cycle. But overall, like I said, about full day wear, I'm liking it so far, no complaints, but we'll see how this does over the next few weeks. At this point when I'm recording this, I haven't decided how long I'm gonna wear this before I give you guys a review. But yeah, we'll just see how this continues to perform, and I'll check in with you guys periodically here or there. Like I said at the beginning of this video, I have now been wearing this ring for about 2 weeks, and I definitely have a good handle on how I feel about it. First up, this ring blends so much better into my outfits and just my looks in general than if I had a smartwatch or a Fitbit. I do love that it's so much more seamless, especially with the fact that whenever I go out, I do wear rings daily, so it just kind of like melts into the styling, and I absolutely love it. I did get mine in the rose gold, and originally I was upset that they didn't have regular gold, and then I found it on Amazon and I was like, oh, I could have gotten gold through there. But honestly, I don't mind it, and I actually kind of like the tone change. Because I always wear gold, it's kind of nice to have something that's a little bit offset. Like, it still flows with the rest of my gold jewelry, but it adds a little bit of depth to my ring stack. So I'm actually very happy with it. I did debate for a second returning this one and then ordering it through Amazon to get the gold, but the rose gold has definitely grown on me. Also, yes, it is a thick, chunky ring. I don't think that you can get around that if you're looking for a ring tracker, because the ring has actual sensors and stuff in it, so it needs the room to be able to have those sensors so that it could read you and report all of that data. And originally I had thought that this was super thick, but at one point I did order a different ring tracker from a different company because I had a glitch with this one, which I'll get to in a second. When I got that one in, that one definitely felt chunkier than this one, so I think as far as the chunkiness goes, this one's actually not too bad. Another big thing with me that I was worried about when I got this ring was the fact that I am actually allergic to certain metals, and especially when my hands get wet, I do have an allergic reaction that drives me crazy. So I was very nervous about that with this ring, but this ring actually I haven't had a reaction to at all. I've had it in and out of water constantly. I actually wear it pretty much 24/7. The only time that I really take this ring off for any extended period of time is actually when I'm showering and then like getting ready, doing hair and makeup, or when I'm doing skincare at night. And the reason for that is just because I don't like to feel products going like in under the ring, and also I'm not doing a lot of stepping and stuff anyways. I'm not missing a lot of data by taking it off during that time, and that's actually when I charge it. That's another thing that I really like about this ring, is that it comes with this charging case. This charging case, you actually charge the case, and then the case on its own, whenever it's fully charged, can charge the ring. It doesn't have to be hooked up to anything else. And this ring actually charges super fast. If I'm moving really fast, getting ready from like shower to being fully glammed up and ready to head out, I would say minimum that takes me an hour, if not a little bit more, and this ring will fully charge in that time. And then also when I'm doing my skincare at night and I have it on the charger for that, I would say the skincare takes on average 20 minutes depending on what I'm doing, and this ring will charge up to at least 50% whenever I leave it on for my skincare. So there's actually never a day where my ring isn't almost at full charge at the start of the day. But yeah, this little case, I love it. I literally just leave it on my counter in the bathroom. I have like a place that doesn't get wet, so I'll leave it there, and whenever I go in there to start doing skincare or to start showering, I make it a habit of just throwing my ring right in here. That way it'll charge up and it'll be good to go by the time I'm done getting ready. And if anything, I've maybe lost like 50 steps having taken it off to charge, so it's really not that big a deal. Like I said too, this is fully waterproof. I wear it when I'm washing my hands throughout the day. I've worn it swimming. I've had absolutely zero problems submerging this in water and getting it wet. So you literally can wear this all day, every day. That way you can track everything. And then as far as the app goes, the app that you use with this is called SmartHealth. This is what it looks like, which I know from my phone onto the camera may not translate well, so I'll also put some screenshots for you guys. But I have to say, I really like this app. Like I said, I wanted something simple. I didn't want anything crazy. The main thing that I wanted to know was how many steps I was taking per day, and this definitely delivers on the data that I was looking for. I had always suspected that I was at a pretty good step count even on a very lazy day, because even on my laziest days, I'm still walking Leo at least 3 times. Even if like all I do is walk Leo and I just bum around the whole day, I will hit like a minimum of 8,000 to 9,000 steps. So that was actually kind of fun to see exactly how active Leo makes me. For anyone who's new here, Leo is my dog. He is a very high energy dog. If you know dog breeds, he is a German Shepherd Australian Kelpie mix, which means he is crazy and is also an Energizer bunny, so I have to walk him a lot. So it's kind of fun to see that he literally will not let me be stagnant. But yeah, like I said, the app is very simple. It tracks your steps, your heart rate, your blood pressure. It also tracks your O2 levels, which I don't really know that much about that. That's honestly the stat that I probably care about the least. I'm sure that there's a good reason to know your oxygen level. I just I haven't researched it, if I'm being honest. Again, I was here for the steps. And then it also tracked your sleep, which is a feature I didn't realize I was gonna love so much. I can't vouch for how accurate it is. I've never compared it against anything else, but I do really like getting to see that data in the morning of seeing how well I've slept and what my sleep cycle was like. One thing though with the tracking for sleeping is that say you naturally wake up at 7 on a Saturday and you're like, oh, I wanna go back to sleep. If you stay awake too long, it's not gonna track you when you go back to sleep. So just know that if you wake up and you're awake for a while, it's just gonna track that one and done. And then it does take a while for the data to load from your sleep in the morning. I think it usually loads within about like 30 to 40 minutes after I wake up, which might just be me being impatient, like wanting to see it right when I wake up, but I do understand it needs time to register the fact that I have woken up and that I'm gonna stay awake and everything. So it makes sense, I'm just impatient. But yeah, here is a sleep tracker and you can see it tracks you through your cycles. I'll take a screenshot. It tracks you through your cycles. It lets you know how long you were in deep sleep, light sleep, and REM. Also tells you how long you slept for and how many times you woke up. But just so that you guys can see the rest, it does have the heart rate tracker. And if you wanna know your heart rate, like right at that moment, you can have it go ahead and do a manual measurement, and has the same thing for your blood pressure, and then you can manually check your O2 level as well. Again, still not entirely clear on my end for that. I mean, obviously it's good to know that your oxygen levels are good in your blood, but just for daily tracking, not exactly sure. I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know. But syncing on the app, I would say, is okay. It's not amazing. It's not like up to date every second. Sometimes it does lag behind and I have to manually refresh it to sync, or sometimes I just have to wait for its regular 30-minute intervals. If you're watching the vlogs, you do know at one point this stopped syncing. It would only record my blood pressure and my heart rate and my oxygen level if I did a manual reading, and then it also wasn't recording any of my sleep. This kept going on for 2 days. I kept turning my phone on and off because usually if you turn your phone on and off, it'll force it to sync or reset. And then another problem that I had was it would track my steps, but then it would randomly reset itself throughout the day. So I would have the data for how many steps I had for the day up until like 10 o'clock, and then randomly I would look at my phone and at 10:07 it would restart itself and put everything back to 0. So that was getting really annoying, which is why I ordered a different ring. I was gonna return this one. I was annoyed with it. I was done. But once I put in the request to return this, their customer service reached out to me to ask me what was wrong, and they gave me instructions on how to do a factory reset, and the ring has been working fine ever since then. So I'm totally fine with that. If it stops syncing for any reason, I know how to reset it. And again, I'm just looking for very basic data. I knew I was gonna get a cheaper ring. Things like this might happen. But one thing that really stuck out to me from that whole experience was how responsive their customer service was. They reached out to me right away. They made sure that they could get the problem fixed. And they also told me that if I still couldn't fix the problem, they would send me a new ring. So their customer service is actually really, really great. I reached out through the app and TikTok shop. They got back to me over on TikTok, but I did get an email later from the app as well. So they're super, super responsive. So again, for getting a cheaper ring, I had not expected that customer service. So I was very happy with that. And then the last thing is the accuracy on the steps. So I do have a little stepper machine here at home, and that machine does track my steps. There was one day where I tracked what my ring said against what my stepper said. It was a little bit off, but honestly, I don't think anything is gonna be 100% accurate. I'm sure there's a ton of different ways that the tracker could misread a step or could miss a step. So I feel like at the end of the day, for the most part, it pretty much evens out. I think between the stepper count and this count, this one was under by about like 150 steps. So it wasn't like a crazy amount that it was off. But again, between the two of them, I don't know entirely which one is the more accurate one, but they were within the same ballpark for the most part. I will say if you are tracking your steps, I think the best way to approach it with any tracker that you're using really is to wear the tracker for a couple days like normal. Do not up your routine, do not downgrade your routine. Take the normal amount of steps that you take on a regular basis and see what your baseline is, and then from there adjust your goals. Because again, I don't think anything is 100% accurate. So as long as you're able to gauge what you normally do, and then depending on your goals, up your steps by however much you want, as long as your tracker is tracking and reporting data for the most part, it should be effective for that purpose. Overall, I do really love this tracking ring. Like I said, I am gonna keep it. I love the aesthetics of it. I love the functionality of it. I love the fact that it's a very, very simple app, because again, that's all I needed. I didn't want a lot of extra data. I didn't want to pay more money to have all of this data that I wasn't that interested in anyways. If I ever do decide someday that I want more data and want to really, really make sure something is like super, super crazy accurate, I may invest in the Oura Ring. But for right now, for what I need, this ring definitely delivers on every point. One thing that I do want to point out for any ladies who are looking into this ring, one big thing that this particular ring does not have is period tracking. Now, I personally, I don't like the idea of my period being tracked. That's just a me me thing, so that's not something that I wanted anyways, and I specifically looked for rings that did not include period tracking. So if that's something that you want, that would be the only time I would say I don't recommend this ring. Okay guys, well that's gonna be it for today's video and for my review on this Oura Ring dupe. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I answered all of your questions, but if not, as always, feel free to leave it in a comment down below and I will do my best to get back to you. And for everyone watching, don't forget to like this video and make sure that you're subscribed. But thank you guys again so much for watching. I love you and I will see you very soon again in my next video. Bye.